What's up, guys? It's Light Spiral here with the first video in the Farmable team for every dungeon series, and it's going to be started off with Giants Keep before. Now, let me just get this run going. This you guys can have visual proof that this team does beat this dungeon. I'm just gonna have it's an autoplay team, so you guys are gonna be able to build this and farm this for as much energy as you have in a pretty short amount of time, because it does farm it pretty quick. There's 3 attack monsters and 2 support monsters. Now, to get into it really quick, I realized that a lot of people that are going to be watching this video might have trouble doing secret dungeons for 3-star monsters. So I tried to keep a lot of the 3-star monsters out of here, and that are obtainable in secret dungeons. So the only monster in here you're going to have to do a secret dungeon for is the Light in Yugami, otherwise known as Belladon. But I would honestly say that Belladon is pretty much a must on this team, in my opinion. Now, to move on with the team, other than Belladon, we have Shannon the Wind Fairy, which can be obtained in a secret dungeon and maybe a scenario battle, but I don't think she actually is. She's a natural 2-star monster, so you're going to be able to easily skill her out from unknown scrolls, or even summon her from unknown scrolls, and she'll be easy to awaken. The third monster in this team is the Fire Hellhound, otherwise known as Seek. They give this monster to you at the beginning of the game. If you've used him as fodder, you can get him back from Famine Volcano, as he actually just died right there, but Famine Volcano, on normal, hard, or hell, whatever you can do most efficiently. The third monster is Ryok, the Fire in Yugami, who can also be found in Famine Volcano, normal, hard, hell difficulties. And then the third one is Taharis, the wind elemental. He's not the low elemental. He can be found in, I believe it's called Kabir Ruins. It's the 3rd level. It's the one after Mount Sis that you unlock. And he's a natural 2-star, so he'll be easily obtainable in from the Kabir Ruins itself, or from max skilling it from the unknown scrolls. So just a quick recap on that. The only 3-star monsters here, or the only natural 3 stars, are Belladon, the Light in Yugami, Ryok, the Fire in Yugami. The others are all 2 stars, which is a Wind Pixie, a Wind Elemental, and a Fire Hellhound. So now let me just get this chest and show you the runes. So I realized that a lot of you guys watching this video aren't going to have 5-star monsters. You're going to have only 4 and 3-star monsters, which is completely okay. This team will be able to beat Giants before if every single monster in it is a 4-star. It'll be able to beat it fine if you rune them alright. Or if you rune them a good way. You don't have to do the exact runes I build, but on Shannon, the Wind Pixie, I have Swift Energy. You could also go Swift Focus if you want. And I have Speed, HP, HP. On Belladon, the Light in Yugami, I have Swift Energy. Once again, you can go Swift Focus if you'd like, with Speed, HP, HP. The third monster is Seek, the Fire Hellhound. I have Swift Blade. The rune build frame would be Speed, Attack, Attack, but as you're going to see here, I did not have a Speed SWAT 2 rune, so I just did Attack, Attack, Attack. And excuse me, and he actually died right then, so maybe with Speed he might have not died. He probably still would have died because they're all +0 on him. And then with Ryok, I don't actually have runes on him right now, but the rune build for him is the exact same as it was for Seek. Swift Blade with Speed, Attack, Attack. And then the third monster I have, or the 5th monster I have, sorry, is Taharis, which I have Swift Focus. You could also do Swift Blade if you would like to. And you can either choose to build him one of 3 ways, or you can choose 3 different ways to build him. I have the second option I'm going to list, but the first option is going to be with Speed, Attack, Attack. The second option, which is what I have, Attack, Crit Rate, Attack. Or the third option is Attack, Attack, Accuracy. Now, if you do those rune combinations on him, and if you get all, 5 of these monsters with the runes that I've recommended, and then get the runes to either +6, +9, or +12. You might have to experiment with exactly which ones. This team will definitely be able to do it B4. With plus 12, I'm 100% sure it'll be able to do B4. With plus 9, I have about a 90% feeling that this is definitely going to work. And at plus 6, I'd say there's a chance it could work, but I honestly just don't know, because there's no way for me to un-5-star Bella Dion and Shannon right here. So, I mean, I could build another one, but I'm not going to. And so that's all I have to say about this team itself. Something for all you guys to know, that this team does work, but these are all farmable monsters. If you have another monster on your team that would do better than one of these monsters, feel free to put it in. And so you can know which ones to put in, I'm going to tell you why I have every monster in the team. Shannon is in the team for glancing hits, which will make the boss do less damage, as well as she provides a defense buff and an attack buff, but the attack buff isn't relevant, you'll see why in a second, and she provides a speed debuff to the enemy team. Bella Dion is there to defense break whatever monster you're currently attacking, as well as to heal your team by 30%, and Seek is there to do his third skill, which is an attack and crit rate buff, which is really good. Rayok is there just simply for the fact that we need just to do damage to the boss, to the monsters leading up to the boss, to everything. And Taharis is there because of his third skill. If you don't have if you haven't awakened Taharis, I wouldn't recommend using him, because this third skill is the only reason we'll use him, because it does 2 continuous damage effects for 3 turns, which in total will do 30% of the boss's max HP, which is pretty good, and for 1 attack. And so, if you have any monsters that you think can do better, like for this Rayok, for example, it's going to be a big one. If you have a monster that does more damage than Rayok, then use that monster. If you have a monster that does an attack buff that is attack power and critical rate that you think is better than Seek, use it. If you have a monster that does continuous damage and you think it's better than Taharis, use it. If you have a healer that's better than Bella, use it, but I doubt too many of you have a healer that's better than Bella, because Bella's one of the better ones in the game. And if you have a monster that can do glancing hits and speed debuffs, which I don't even know if there is one in the whole game that does that, feel free to use it over Shannon. Now, that's all I have for today's video, though, guys. So be sure to tell me in the comments if this team actually did help you. If you build this team, tell me what you had it at when you beat it. Were they all 4 stars? Were they all 3 stars? How good were the runes? And as well, tell me if there's any other dungeons you're having trouble beating. I'll try my best to make a video soon on your dungeon that you asked me for. But if no one does ask me for a dungeon in the comments of this video, I will be doing the next video on Dragons B4. But that's all I have for today, guys. May the best of your todays be the worst of your tomorrows.